to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into the 7 different distortion pedals that are available in the Boss Tone Studio through the Katana. That means we're going to be looking at the classic distortion pedal, the Fat Distortion, the Distortion Plus, the Gov Distortion, the Rat, the Metal Zone, and the Metal Distortion. We're going to be comparing all these pedals by playing the same riff on the same guitar, and all EQ knobs will be turned to 12 o'clock to get a fair comparison. First up, we're looking at the classic distortion pedal. Now this is sort of Boss's take on a basic distortion pedal without recreating one of the famous ones like a Rat or a Metal Zone. Now this is designed to give you a very straightforward distortion sound that you can use in many different styles of playing. This is probably one of the easiest pedals to use if you want a classic rock sound without getting anything too crazy or too high in distortion. I would say this would be great for some punk, blues, and some classic rock. Maybe not modern metal, but it's still a great pedal. Up next we have the Fat Distortion, and as the name gives away, sort of gives you the classic distortion sound, but adding a fatter, thicker tone. As you can hear from the clip, it does have more of a body to it and more of a thickness than the first distortion pedal goes. I would say it was closer to a DS1 pedal with maybe some extra tone added to it. I would say this is best for maybe some heavy metal and classic rock songs. A little bit thicker than the first pedal, but nothing too high in gain still. Now we have the Distortion Plus. This is Boss's take on the MXR Distortion Plus pedal, which was used in the song Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne and many others. This pedal is going to have a lot more bite to it compared to the last two, and I would say this would be great for some heavy metal and heavier rock music as opposed to the last two. Now getting into something a little more interesting, the Gov Distortion is based off of the Marshall Governor distortion pedal. The original Marshall Governor was released by Marshall, which provided a very strong British-like amp sound in an effect pedal box. If you're a fan of the heavy British Marshall-like sound, I would say that this pedal is going to be perfect for you. It's going to give you a perfect rock sound while also adding a little bit of a heavy edge. Next we have the Rat, and as you probably could have guessed, it is based off of the Proco Rat, one of the most famous distortion pedals of all time. What makes the Rat so unique is that it's a perfect blend between a fuzz and a distortion pedal without getting too heavy in the distortion, but still having that very thick, warm tone. This is a great option for alternative rock, grunge, punk, and similar other styles. I would say that gives a very distinct character to the sound and something that you are not going to be able to get from many other pedals. Now, probably the most controversial pedal on this list is the Boss Metal Zone. It is infamous in the guitar community because some people hate the sound altogether. I personally like it. It definitely is an acquired taste, but I think it's something that everyone can benefit from using somewhere in their playing style. It is a very high gain pedal with a very distinct sound. I do feel that the EQ could be adjusted to make it sound better than what I had to do for this comparison, but I do think that it gets a lot more hate than it deserves, and it is an amazing pedal. This is going to be perfect for heavy metal, thrash metal, anything in that genre. I wouldn't say classic rock, really punk rock, no, just really stick to the heavier stuff with this pedal. Lastly, we have the metal distortion pedal. This is Boss's take on a very high gain pedal geared towards heavier music. Similar to the metal zone, but I would say a lot more rounded, not quite as harsh of an EQ. I would associate this pedal with more of the Boss metal core pedal as opposed to something like the metal zone. I think this is a great pedal if you want a very high gain sound without having to tweak the EQ quite that much. And out of my options in the Boss Tone Studio, when I'm playing heavy high gain music, this is going to be my go-to. So that is my comparison of all 7 of the distortion pedals in the Boss Tone Studio. I think that is one of the best features of the Boss Katana, is that you get to experiment with so many different pedals without having to actually go out and spend hundreds of dollars on each effect. Out of all the distortions that we looked at today, my favorite is the last one we looked at, the metal distortion pedal. While that is my favorite, I do feel that all of the pedals have their time and place to shine. If you have a Boss Katana, I highly recommend you plugging in your computer, going through all the distortions on your own, and seeing what works for you and what pleases your ear. That is all for now. If you would like any other Katana related content, please let me know in the comments below. And until next time, keep cranking it.